had a problem with the sound on my PC. Now it's restarting. So I'm very happy to welcome you finally on the second webinar. Hope you can hear me well, or at least good enough to start with. So this webinar is the second webinar that I'm doing. The first one was about lazy trading story in general, how it's all started, and so on. So right now I'm recording a special webinar for those students who purchased like more courses, not just one course, but more courses. And my goal is to really help you guys to make things easier, to give you like a full overview, or at least the maximum overview, how you can get the maximum value from this course in the shortest period of time possible. Obviously, it's just a technical note. This webinar will be about 40 minutes. I plan to make it like about a little bit of an introduction, a little bit of the disclaimer. Then I plan to spend 3 minutes explaining each course like very briefly, with a focus on try to maximize your value, what it can bring to you, which part of the course you should replicate, which part of the course you should just probably watch if you don't have time. And finally, there will be some questions and answers, some questions that I have already prepared. So what we have here is, I'm just here curious if I would be it would be possible for me to restart session again on my desktop, but nevertheless a little bit later. So I will now make a little bit of the introduction, disclaimer part on this. Maybe before I do this, let me just try once again to share my website. This website I built, let's say, specifically to inform students about the projects that I'm running on teaching. You can find them by typing Google my blog _attempt. And it will be under Industry 4.0 and more. There will be a web page, which I would like now to share with you. One moment. So just let me show you this one. Okay, so here's basically my web page that I built on Jekyll. This web page basically represents the entire series, and here I would like to show you where you can read about those seven courses. If you click on topics, there is like a blog, and what the blogs allow you to do is to read those 7 articles. First article is just let's say inspiration, what was behind this. And here, really, this is all the dates when I put this all together. So if you just click on the first part, you can read the blog. It's usually 5 minutes, very short text, and then you can just scroll through to the different sections and go to the end. Okay, this was basically a little bit, yeah. If you're not yet joining this, joining those courses, you can obviously go to the home page, and in this section works, there is all these courses are here, and if you click on one of them, you can just go ahead, and there is a link to with a coupon to this course. Just here, so you can just get it with this discount, with this price. Cool. This was a little bit of introduction. Let me maybe resume to this part here. In a moment, I will also try to try to resume broadcast from the my desktop because I want to share my screen. Maybe before that, let me just try to launch it again. Okay, go to YouTube. Sorry for this technical difficulties. I need to go to Creator Studio. It's really the problem with the sound, and I don't know what happened here. Need to. Okay, I think I will now close this window and try it again from the desktop. One moment, please. So now I think you can hear me. Yeah, right now you can hear me from my Windows desktop PC. Sorry for this little, let's say, inconvenience. Oh, one moment. I will also want to now. I will also go back to, let's say, to my situation how it was before. Okay, I think we are now live and back. So let me just restart with another boring session. So just one thing I want to mention, that technically on the right side of the screen you have a cards. If you just there's a little eye. If you just could you please put yes if you can hear me, and no if you can't hear me well. So these cards I will be using just to make a little bit of interaction with you who will watch later, or who will be joining to watch right now online. Okay, so let me go back to I want to share my screen. I prepared a little slide deck, and let me just show this one. It's terribly, by the way, it's terribly hard to kind of prepare those events and host them. There's so many, all the time, so many things happening. So here is my slide deck. I hope you can see this. So poll number one, please answer this question if you can hear well. Next, this is the agenda. We'll talk about disclaimer next, and then 3 minutes about each course, with the purpose to really minimize your time on spending on this course. Finally, question and answer session. And obviously a surprise. There will be surprise, which I want to share. I'm very proud with this result. I want to share a little bit of the performance of one training system at the end. Okay, this is the inspiration of creating lazy trading courses. There is a previous webinar that I recorded entirely dedicated to explain why I created these courses. But in short, we are trying to build some comprehensive system that is capable to do this hard job, to do algorithmic trading with minimum effort from us possible. This is the blog address, which I showed to you already. And obviously, feel free to visit it or share with your friends, read the blog, and yeah, post it on Facebook. And yeah, obviously, if you, I will be really grateful if you would use coupons from this links. Now, disclaimer. What I usually say is that this trading thing is there's a 3 type of risks here. It's first of all is a risk, financial risk. If you will decide to like invest your money, there is a serious financial risk. Second is time risk.
if you spend your time to watch on this, to think about this, to make to put your effort to code and whatever, there is a risk that you can spend your time pretty much uselessly. And there might be some routines that would even, kind of put you in the chain, which basically will make your spending years of your life, basically. Okay, so this is very, very serious risk. And the third risk is a psychological risk that can lead to the point that you would hope that it will work, but it doesn't work, which will, dominate on you psychologically. So it doesn't go work either. So my approach is this. My approach is to use anything that was created for the speculation, like a software, like all this programming library, to actually learn computer and data science, and having focus first to apply those learnings in the industry or the society that you're living in, to make it easier, better for the society. And this way you will definitely learn a lot from these courses that I'm proposing. Yes, saying this, I think it's time now to ask you a question, and I would like to ask you to actually to give a vote if you think that is it really helping to learn data science. Is this story, algorithmic trading, can help you to learn computer and data science? I would answer yes myself, but I would really be curious to hear what you think about it. Good. Now, 3 minutes about each course. It's now on my watch. It is 23 minutes past 8. And now I would like to talk about 3 minutes, just 3 minutes about each course, with a purpose to give you a hint of what is you need just watch, or what part I really recommend you to reproduce. This is because in the courses itself, I spending quite a while to to troubleshoot, to learn I, to learn myself. Some courses I was not hiding, I was recording during investigation research purposes. So in this webinar aimed actually to clarify that a little bit and to let you be aware about which part of this course maybe you should postpone and which part you should really experience by yourself. Okay, this was the entire courses in the series. We talk about first setting up our home trading environment. Then we talk about trading strategy, robot trading journal, statistical control, and so on. So let's go 3 minutes to each course. First course, setting up your home trading environment. There was a webinar which we spent last week about this. The whole idea is to build the system. The system will allow us to continuously research as well as develop a decision support system, which basically kind of a core of our artificial intelligence. By the way, artificial intelligence is a sort of algorithm that capable to take decisions, right? So this is course really about artificial intelligence, that something that's supervising your robot, something that will, let's say, interact with external world, receive inputs, give outputs. This was discussed in the previous course. We focused a lot on the version control. So what I would like to ask you to do is to really reproduce this one. Really try to build these things. Maybe obviously, I really recommend you to use version control to clone quickly all my projects, all repositories that I'm telling you to clone. Try to reproduce it, and if not, you can just delete it if you don't like it. Doesn't matter. Okay, will be, at least it will be also great learning for you. I mean, how to organize your version control, how to set up your working environment, and so on. So this is the really something that I would like you to reproduce. At the end of this course, you should have, let's say, your home computer or maybe the virtual private server ready to go for the second course. And the second course is all about just learning, taking the plate we will be working with and learning it up, setting it up, and make sure it is working with our decision support system. We are not really looking in very much detail how the code is built, but we kind of get through using conceptual view about the robot. We just look at to the structure, how this C++ program is built, with a focus a lot on the functional programming, and as well as some we'll look just where you would want to modify to change the entries and so on. And here I would like to focus the point to not to spend any moment of time to try to optimize your robot, try to try to find those best parameters. Don't start to adjust strategy, putting new indicators and so on. Maybe just try it for once if you have time, but really just watch these lectures. Really try to understand where it is made to change the strategy, not more. The risk is here that we spend a lot of time on trying and testing, but this algorithmic system is really can be really hard to fine tune. Okay, this was about the trading robot. At the end of this course, I would really ask you just to drop a couple of robots on the chart, so they would make some trades on the demo account. Okay, you can do it for test on the pre-production and our production environment. It should be everything should be demo, and let it trade for a while, generate some trades as we expect, as I'm explaining, and go to the next course, which is set up your trading journal. This course is will be helping you to get very powerful edge, which basically will let you analyze your trade within seconds. So you get this powerful capability to have, after 2 seconds, to see where are you going, which particular system are working good, which are not. Maybe a little bit of why. You can even make some records on your thoughts as well, read them back again, and so on. So this course about trading journal is something that is something that I really just recommend you maybe to watch. And at the end of the day, you can just open it up again and just run through, let's say, web terminal, and to see how your system are performing. And obviously, you should see the results of the trades that you did from the course about trading robot in the trading journal. So this was let's say, my message. Cool. This was about the trading journal. Oh, sorry, I forgot. If in case you believe that you want to study a little bit Shiny, in case you believe that the method I'm proposing, you can try to modify this trading journal, maybe create a new branch locally and try to play with this, try to change visualization is up to you. Okay, this was them. And the next one is one of my favorite courses. Actually, my favorite courses, probably the first one, this one, number 4, and number 7. But nevertheless, why do we need automatic statistical control? I think it's a really something cool that allow us to benefit from those two methods. One method is really easy, is about profit factor, and it's allowing us to use this simple metric automatically to stop unprofitable system. And something that I'm proud of, but also it was a lot of pain and for me to get it right, is about reinforcement learning, which image you see on the right. And this is something I really want you to watch only at the moment, but I don't want you to spend more time on testing it right in this moment. Only if you really wish. It's also, well, it could be useful, of course, but take the latest release of the software, which, well, of the code. Obviously, if you would be joining like today, you will get it. It's already, I'm not in changing it anything since like a couple of weeks, but you just take this one and but don't spend time on optimizing robots. Just throw them as they are and run it through and check this system on terminal 1 and terminal 3, how they would go, how this reinforcement learning story can split a profitable system from not profitable system, and if it would be capable to do so. So this will be this I can really recommend, but only if you have time, because later in the course number 7 you can repeat this story with more advanced robot. Now, the next course, read news and sentiment analysis. This one is something that I am. I'm actually, let's say, it was very short course. In the beginning, it was even shorter because my idea was just to my motivation while creating this course was just about to let me know when let me know automatically when certain macroeconomics events are present in the market. So this is achieved, but the code is really short. We are just learning how to web scrap basically one website and get those events and just stop the trading systems according to the presence of the event. But at the end of the day, I also make a little bit of the study, which is a study that makes studying sentiment of the news hearers. This method is kind of very naive. I don't really think about this as something like, but it proved basically it doesn't work on for the daily trading, at least. Maybe for them like a long-term trade, maybe it can be useful, but I'm not that type of person to trade like for months or years. For me, I more believe something like a faster, like a little bit like a scalping, more trades, the better for me. Okay, so this was about the course. What I recommend is to reproduce the part related to news events, gathering news events and stopping the trading. But up to you if you wish to replicate the story with the sentiment analysis of the news headers. This is up to you. Okay, let's me go to the course number 6. Course number 6 is about detecting market status with artificial intelligence. Here, the idea is to create a sort of a neural network, trained neural network. It's a manual, kind of a manual labeling. It involves manual labeling of the data. And we are doing so for 28 currency pairs in Forex and 6 market types. Obviously, this was like this course is good if you wish to learn how to basic methods. Okay, it's a very hands-on course. I think if you have really time, I recommend you to replicate it. If not, I don't recommend you to replicate. Just watch it if you don't have time, because the downside of this method is that it requires you manual labeling of the periods. So you kind of you first need to manually label the financial data from 6 market types, and obviously, yeah, this you cannot physically get a lot of data. So I believe that there will be still a lot of bias, and as well there is a very important assumption, very critical assumption, that we're just detecting, recognizing current status in this market, but we do not predict the future. This is the big problem that it can be. So we base everything on the assumption that whatever we predict is first of all is correct, and secondly it will persist in the future. So we have two possible errors. First of all, we have like there might be some kind of a general mistake that we model make a mistake. Secondly, it doesn't really true that it might persist in the future, so be mindful with that. Anyway, course allows to really learn, I believe, quite good visual allow to, and even replicate the way you can actually train deep learning neural network. Okay, let me go to the next, my favorite course, and they will be surprised coming from this course: developing self-learning artificial intelligent robot. This course is is a kind of a continuation from the course number 6. In fact, if you wish, if you will watch course number 6 and 7, you will feel that it's like a continuation, because we use the same, almost the same scripts, same indicators. But here we are. What we're doing, we automatically label the data. We are we are training the model first time manually, in a many different, let's say, combinations. And then we are also, what we're also doing, we are also trying to train deep learning to predict the future, actually. And we're doing it for two type of models to just decide like an option, buy or sell, or to even predict how much it will be changing. Will it be, 50 pips or 5 pips change, or 150 pips? Um, Obviously, this is just, of course, there is an error, but this course is actually is sort of a lot of automation inside, and even self adjustment, self learning, self. It will make self checks and so on. So what we do in this course is predict future from the past on several time frames, and we do this automatically. But first time you need to really to do it manually. So this is the goal. And now I think just to say a few words from this course number 7, the recommendation is to really replicate everything. And once you finish the 7 courses, the recommendation will be, which I will mention in a second, is actually to go ahead and to test like we show in the course number 4, deploy it on 28 currency pairs, and then on the terminal 1, and then also deploy, let's say, slave systems on the terminal 3, and use reinforcement learning or profit factor to even better to split profitable systems from non-profitable systems. Okay, now I'd like to ask you a question. Are you really planning to replicate the whole story? Would you mind to use the cards which you have on your right on your screen? Just there is a little eye. You can just choose this eye, and there will be cards. You can scroll down, and you will see there is a question: are you planning to replicate this method? And I'd like you to just answer maybe yes, definitely yes, maybe no, rather no, and so on. This will help me to understand, let's say, how this feeling about this courses is going, and how many students are actually replicating this method. Okay, and now I think let me. by the way, we actually finished already this story, 3 minutes each about each course. This is our agenda, and now I just want to, let's say, answer some questions. Obviously, if you have questions that will not cover here, this the questions that I put, which I think that are relevant at the moment. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to send me your message by email or by in the platform. I will be really happy to answer, and this hope this will help you to learn better. So, what is the most valuable content to replicate? And for this, I think I made this let's say this slide, replicator watch. This is the yeah, this sort of summary of what I just said in the last 21 minutes. What I recommended is just to replicate first, third, and course number 7, and the rest is the watch. If you have time, obviously you can replicate everything according to the just the storyboard. Just try to take the course slowly and replicate everything. But what I want to say is, as a general advice, I don't want you to waste your time on robots optimization first. Make it easier with version control. If you wish to replicate this course, it will be much faster and easier if you would be using the version control. It's not mandatory that you would, let's say, if you wish, I mean, if you wish to change and modify it for you, it's not really necessary that you create like a share your code. Okay, you can just take my code and then develop it for you. But really, using version control will make your life easier, and once you understand it, it will be much faster at the end. There is, of course, a little effort required in the beginning. Now, there is some stars in the course number 4, watch with a star. And this is, I mean, that at the course number 4, I really recommend you that you also replicate, but possibly during develop with the robot from course number 7. And in the course number 7, there is 2 stars, as you see there. I'm actually just here in the course number 7. Unfortunately, I made a couple of failures or a couple of bugs that was discovered. And if you are going to take this now, of course, you will not fill them. But Falcon F robot, which is in chapter 5, it is still containing coding mistake. And I'm not planning to fix them because it's a sort of learning experience. I believe it will be very positive learning experience if you will learn from my failures. And if you wish to take a challenge, try to fix this error, of course. But there is a robot Falcon F1 which you can use, which 99% doesn't contain any bugs. Okay, so this was the answer to the question. Was the question, what is the most valuable content to replicate? Now, what is necessary but not that essential? We already discussed that too. And it is of course to actually to look for the I think necessary but not essential is the course number 6. Course number 2, the one that you really want to learn the structure of the robot, as well as course number 5, learning how to web scrap, may be useful for other things in your in whatever you do. Okay, this was the question, what is interesting but not really that essential. What's the best part of the series? This is the good question which I asking myself. I think there are two things. The two best parts is the using reinforcement learning. First of all, to split the systems is a sort of a PID loop. but more intelligent, which should just give a general advice, learn fast, learn slow, and something like that. Like in PID, you can do this as well. But really, the reinforcement learning is something that helped me to learn the method. I just read the vignette and try to apply it to the problem. And I wish you can do the same. You can pretty much try to apply that for any other problem which you possibly can have. And the second best part of the course is obviously course number 7, which I'm really happy to build. And they will be surprised in a moment. What I would like to say is that this course number 7 actually is really good because it is creating sort of a really, is first of all the neural networks that taking decisions. It's something that's really good. Secondly, there's automatic data labeling and automated data pipes, let's say. Third, there is a trading strategy validation, also automatically. And there is a kind of a selection mechanism. Number 4, there's a selection mechanism that would, in the future, it will only improve, you know what I mean. So it is basically, yeah. So it's basically the something that I would like to. I'm very proud of, and there is also some, let's say, some challenging with this because it's a black box, because it would be potentially hard to replicate. It's a neural network, but at the same time, it is, I think, something I haven't seen anything more advanced yet. Okay, and now I think let me show you the surprise. And the surprise, let me just share my screen. What is the surprise? And the surprise is then this one. Okay, this is actually a test from last week. I just made the test of the Falcon F1 robot. This is a robot from course number 4. Once again, please be mindful that this may be just a coincidence. Read the disclaimer section, but it's a demo account. Okay, it's a demo account. I'm not selling the system. Let's say I'm just curious how it would work, and I would like to share with you this performance. What I wanted to say is that this robot is fully it was not using any indicator. It was, let's say, yeah, it was using indicator, but the indicator was used. The neural network was checking this indicator, not the human. And what I wanted to show you is this. I would like to run now my trading journal just to demonstrate how this entire thing worked during 1 week. Okay, this is a trading journal that I'm launching. I go to terminal 4, which is here, and here it is. So this trading system actually in 1 week made $51 of Swiss franc by making 60 trades. And the best result that I see are from this. There was basically you can split this chart in 10, 10, and 10. This was a scalping method. This was the daily method, and this was like a weekly trade method. What I mean by that, here, like a trade was closed after 2 hours, here trade was closed after 20 hours, and here trade would be closed after 100 hours. Okay, so this kind of this was the principle. And yeah, and here what we see that is the overall, even though we tried different systems, the result was very, very positive. I'm really happy that there's not much trade though, but anyway, overall profit is good. If let me just maybe show you it in this way. we can just take the account history and just take for 1 week. I will just take like this and try to build like a detailed report. So let's see that in this way. So this is the last one, and here's the performance. We have still few trades open, but yeah, so far so good. So profit factor 2.5. We have the still the majority of the trades I actually sell trades, but anyway, there is quite a good system. It has average profit trade is higher than, so it's winning more than it's losing. It is I've never get this result before actually, but of course it's too early to say anything. So this was the surprise. I would like to thank you, I think, for watching this video. If you do, if you resisted till the end, I would like to ask you now: was this webinar helpful for you to, with the purpose to, let's say, better understand lazy trading system? If it was, I appreciate that you make a vote on using these cards on the left side of the screen. Sorry, of the right side of the screen, there is a little eye which you can use to vote. And now let me wrap up this webinar. It's already like more than 40 minutes. I would like to wrap up this course to say that the entire lazy trading series courses teaching us to build sets of software blocks like this that help us to learn computer and data science on the example of algorithmic trading. We are, let's say, my goal is to really give like a quick way to learn this method. Try to replicate it, learn it, take away, and yeah, and hopefully you get benefits from it in real life, a real society. And finally, what I wanted to say: make sure to like this video and visit my blog. Feel free to, if you're watching, if you're a student on Udemy, please make sure to leave a rating, write a comment to let other students know the series, and give me a possibility to improve. So with this said, I think I would really thank you for your time, and let's save our time and let computer do the job. Enjoy your summer. Thank you very much for joining, and sorry for technical problems. Bye.